Hello. When I work one-on-one with my clients, I go through a very important process where we determine their core values. Now, this is a very important part of living an enriching and thriving life. Today, I'm going to share with you as to why this is so important for you to have in your life. Core values are important because they give us clarity on why we are here on this planet, and they also help us to assess our compatibility in a relationship, whether that is a romantic relationship or a professional relationship. All core values come from unmet needs or the perception of unmet needs from childhood. So when we have this perception that there is a void, we then look at how can we actually fill this void within ourselves. When the void is a very big chasm or a very big void in us, we actually will do everything in our power to fill that need within us. And this is what evolves to what we consider our core values. I'm going to give you a personal example which will help to solidify what I just stated. In my own case, when I was growing up, I did not have the perception that I was of good health and that anybody in my family cared about my health. Therefore, I learned at a very young age to cook for myself, very nourishing and healthy meals, and to also exercise and move my body in a way that I could feel healthy in my body. Now, this is something nobody actually taught me, because when I look at what was going on in my family, I would say that my mother did not give me the perception that she was very interested in taking care of my health. So at some point, I perceived that there was a void in my life, and therefore exercise, fitness, and eating right is super important to me. Now, why does it become a core value? A core value is something you will hold for most likely your entire life. I say most likely because there are the odd chances where a core value could feel very complete and we actually move on to a newer set of values. But I have seen this occur in very rare circumstances in my own experience and in the experience of working with my clients. And the reason this is so important is so you can assess your compatibility in a relationship with another person. And also, you can use this as a measure to see if you're truly living a life that is satisfying and enriching and growing for you in the ways that you desire it to grow. Now, why is this so important? It is important because when we don't have an understanding of our core values, what we then do is we allow someone else's values to actually filter our lives instead of our own values being the major filter through which we see our life. So you may look at this as the lens through which you look at your life versus the lens that somebody else looks at into their life. So all 8 billion people will have a lens, a unique lens through which they look at life. And they'll experience life from this specific way of looking at things. Similarly, you being part of the 8 billion will have a unique perspective and a unique way of looking at your life, and it is through the lens of your core values. So these are values that are super important to you, that are the highest priority to you in your life. And the satisfaction of these values, in fact, becomes the primary objective of your life. So typically what I find is that people who are very unhappy in their professional lives are people who do not live in their core values, and they don't have the ability to bring their core values into a vocational situation for themselves. In effect, they are not in a vocation that is truly sitting in their core values. So the reason we want to do this is because when we operate from the sense of a perception that we are capable of fulfilling a void because we have looked at it all our lives, we also have the mechanism and the ability to fulfill that void in our lives. Now, the danger if we don't live in our core values is that we begin to live in somebody else's core values. And when we do this, we create codependent relationships instead of interdependent relationships that by nature are more satisfying and enriching and lively and inspiring. So the belief shift you must have is that living in your core values is going to help you to realize the life that you desire in the very core. And once you have this belief shift, in order to get to what are your core values, what I invite you to do is to really get present to all your childhood experiences and to take stock of where you had the maximum perception of void in your life. You want to do this across 3 to 5 memories, core memories in your life, and then extract out of them what the value is that you wanted or desired as a result of you perceiving this to be missing in your life. Now, once you do this, of course, you're still going to realize that you hold resentments toward the people that you perceived as not meeting your core needs. So it would be important for you to address that in a different forum. Today is not the topic to address that, but focus on identifying the 3 to 5 things that you were really missing in your childhood that you actually decided were most important to you in this lifetime. And then you want to start looking at ways to bring this into your life every day through more steps. Taking little steps can in fact help you to get to a larger step way quicker than you trying to take one large step all of a sudden. Now, the reason again that this is so important for you is that once you start living in your core values, you're going to recognize what your purpose is and why you're here on this planet. In addition, it's also going to help you to look at what makes for a most compatible relationship in your life. And when you can start to apply this lens to all the professional as well as the intimate relationships you seek, you will start to realize the importance of having the core values as the foundation for a great life. Have a good day.